So we're back in isolation training. Regardless if you're a high school, college, professional athlete, younger athlete, great opportunity to take control of your career, to develop routines, to create habits that are going to make you a better athlete, make you a more valuable asset to your team. What we want to look at today is I've broken up a couple clips from the NFL of people missing tackles, and more often than not when people miss tackles, they're missing it because their footwork into contact is poor. So we talk about hawk tackling, shoulder tackling, rugby, head across. I'm an advocate for all of it. I played professional football for 11 years, competitive rugby after that for 3-4 years. I understand shoulder tackling intimately, a huge fan of it. There's a value, not only from a safety proposal, if we're all using the same equipment, but also from a performance standpoint, because as you make shoulder contact, you can actually wrap your arms in closer than you would if you were hitting with your head. So there's a huge performance aspect to it that we don't really talk about, but more importantly, how we get to confrontation and what position we're in when we get to confrontation is going to determine what kind of tackle we use. So I'm going to show you a couple clips. We're going to come back and we'll go through using just a hat as a visual aid and a 3.5 foot by 8 inch square rectangle on the ground for our deceleration zone. We can improve you over this isolation period, dramatically improve your ability to decelerate and dramatically improve your ability to go into contact.
So again, we talk a lot about missed tackles turn big plays into touchdowns, and as we look at this play specifically, as the corner's coming across after the catch, we have probably two issues here. One, there's probably a tracking issue where he's tracking the far hip. He looks like he's not honed in on that near hip. But two, as we try to decel and catch up with number 11, our deceleration, we're not paddling down, we're not dropping our weight, we're taking big steps, we jump into it, and then we don't have that opportunity to really turn and be in position to make this play. Now, this is something that a strength and conditioning coach is working all the time, his ability to decelerate. What we need to do is transition that now into this is part of your skill development, because how we get to confrontation is going to determine what type of tackle we make, what opportunities we have. Here, it all stem around really your initial footwork, that ability to come to base on decel. So receiver catches the ball in the middle. We've got another wide base on 54. Loses leverage. Now we got the same thing. Coming down, almost a crossover by 45. Loses leverage. Again, good players. But it always comes down to footwork. Always comes down to footwork. Are you tracking right? Are you looking at the right shoulder? At the correct shoulder? As you're coming down here, when you shuffle, are you paddling down? You keeping a good base? All the things that your strength and conditioning coach is working on, here's where they directly transfer to the field, and this is why we want to harp on those so much, especially right now when you're training in isolation. Why do we struggle at tackling sometimes? Because our base is too wide. From this position, he has no chance to step near foot, near shoulder into contact, and he's forced to lunge. So whether we start this play from 10 yards back and run up, or we just get into this position in the hole, this is the foot width that we're trying to avoid, because now we can't step and we have to dive. All right, typical check down here in the game, and you see a safety coming up to make a play. His deceleration is poor, or deceleration to re-acceleration, and the running back, who's a larger player, just turns a corner right around him. As we take this from the back end zone, you can just see the distancing, kind of not comfortable with your own skin. You're a little bit too far away to be coming to a dead stop there. We're not trying to come to a dead stop necessarily. We're trying to put ourselves in a position with our shoulders are stacked over our knees, over our toes. We have a ball weight of our body weight on the balls of our feet, and we're able to explode out into contact. How you get there determines what kind of contact you're going to have.
So you can see from those clips that being able to decelerate under control and get your feet underneath you is so important. That could be a linebacker in the hole. That could be a safety coming down or a corner running across the field. It's all really the same basic principles. Now, we're going to start with a progression. I don't want to just go right into running across the field. There's a ton of drills where we can start turning our hips. But I want to just start with the basic fundamentals of, can we learn how to decelerate? And from there, can we learn to decelerate, take a visual cue, and accelerate into contact? Okay? So we're just going to work on that today with our progression system. I'm going to bring in Maddox. He's going to run this for me. But remember, the most important things are, you're at home, you have the opportunity to better yourself. These are drills that professional athletes are using every day to get better. Give yourself the opportunity, okay, to go outside, make an impact on your career. The better you treat the drill, the better the drill will treat you. He's going to go full speed. As soon as he hits the chalk, he's going to decel under control, get to the point where your shoulders are stacked over your knees, over your toes. You can slide a piece of paper under your heels. Let's do that a couple times, Maddox. Good. Let's hold it. We're always going to hold it for 2 seconds to show that we're completely under control. Let's really load those hips on this one. Think about using your posterior chain as an e-brake. Excellent. Excellent job. Now, visual cue. Wherever I pull this hat, after he decelerates, he's going to re-accelerate, grab the hat, and then finish for 3 yards. Here we go. Good. Decelerate, re-accelerate into contact. Good job, Maddie. So Max is just going to be, if you have a partner, this is perfect, because what we want to do is start making that association for near foot, near shoulder contact as a linebacker, defensive back, defensive lineman, special teams player, really doesn't matter. But as I come and paddle down here, Maddox is just going to take one step to the left or to the right. So I paddle down, I'm here, and now as I come in to contact, I want to come in near foot, near shoulder contact. I'm going towards that near hip, so I just want to step and touch, because we can't make contact right now. We're in isolation training, right? We want to come down, up, up, up. I want to step and touch, put that near foot, what I call on the hoop, I want to put it as close to his feet as I can so I have a good leverage position. And I just want to touch his near hip, associating, stepping with that near foot, touching with that near hand, because I'm going to be tackling with that near shoulder. So again, I come in, I break down, I step, and I'm back. I come in, I break down, I step, and I'm back. I come in, I break down, I step, and I'm back. Everything's under control. I've got my loaded hips. I just step into contact, reload. 3 easy progression system trainings that are going to get you not only as an athlete, improve your ability to decelerate, but see now how it translates into maybe the most important thing a defensive player can do, which is tackle well.